Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. All right, I finally got the time and energy to come out and fight with these barrels that were really low. So what I figured I'd do, the easiest way, I couldn't get it to pump out because the first barrel here was too low. It only had about 6 or 8 gallons in it, which is pretty close to a quarter of what it would hold. Just rough estimate, y'all. I ain't doing math, but anyway, so I poured that out into the little blue bucket, and then I took my funnel and my bucket and poured it into that last can right there, the first one on the far right. So once I got it completely empty, I've been curious to see how much water buildup I would get in these barrels, because when I first started this 10-12 years ago, I bought two brand new 55-gallon drums from the local oil company here, and did the exhaust vent on them and stuff for pressure buildup and all that. Had it set up on concrete blocks over by the edge of the property, and I was using regular gasoline, not non-ethanol. And one day I went out there because like I do here, rotate through the fuel. I filled up my 2500 HT Chevrolet, and that thing it ran about 15-20 feet after I filled it up and couldn't get it to run. Ended up having to take the fuel line loose up front and turn the key on and off. Every time you turn it on, the fuel pump kicks in and primes up the pressure. So my son held the 5-gallon bucket. We filled that 5-gallon bucket up 2.5 times with water. So from that day forward, I never used those again. And then I decided, about 2 years ago or thereabout, I was going to use these 35-gallon plastic drums. Bought vents for them. Y'all know I've got the little hand pump there. Believe it or not, when the hand pump is pumping, it doesn't take long to fill up a vehicle. You got 5 or 10 minutes involved in it, depending on how fast you pump, of course. But I cut a little bit of grass today, and I'm going to try to cut some more before it gets dark on me, but I needed to fill my mower up, and that thing holds about 4 gallons, and I knew it was getting close to empty. So I decided, well, I'll go ahead and get this done and fill up my mower at the same time. And I got the mower filled, and then I ended up pulling, I want to say 5-6 gallons out of it, because those are 2-gallon buckets. That little blue one is, and the white ones I feed with. But I didn't want to use one of my white buckets because I got 3 new ones. They're brand new. And the blue one, at least I could keep over here and remember that blue one I've used for fuel before. So I got the first one empty. Then I got the second one to actually pump. I poured the first, I didn't pour it into the first barrel. I poured this barrel into this one. This one was a little over a quarter full, and I could get it to pump, but it was tough. So I poured this fuel into that barrel, and I literally had no more than an ounce or 2 of water in the bottom of that drum, y'all. So these plastic drums are the way to go. Do not go with ethanol fuel. Do not go with metal cans. Of course, I've got them where they barely get any sunshine. They don't get any in the morning. And going into fall and winter like this, I get just about an hour's worth of sunshine on this first barrel and a little bit on the second one there. Late in the evening. And anyway, I got it all put in there, got the pump primed up, and started filling up my 5-gallon cans. And I put about 4 gallons close to it into the mower, and I put 8 more gallons into that first drum over here. So y'all know I got this old stick. Now y'all think y'all a little bit redneck. Let me tell you something. This stick works. This little groove I got cut in it right here, is my full mark, and halfway down it, I got another one. That's my half mark. And that's pretty much all I really need, half and full, and I can judge between the two. So when I got done, I stuck my fuel stick in there. This tank is now, holds 34, 35 gallons. It's now about 30 gallons. Both of these drums are completely empty, so I can start back filling these drums up. I've actually got a 5-gallon can of fresh fuel on the back of my truck. But I can start now refilling these 2 barrels while I use out of that barrel. And that way I get rotated all the way through my fuel storage. Now you need to do that at least twice a year. Now again, I'm using non-ethanol fuel, and from the local Chevron here in town, they're the only one that I trust. All the other ones are Indians, and I apologize to Indian people, but I don't know them folks and I don't trust them. I know the people that own the Chevron gas and goes around here, and they've got one pump. It's not one that you can choose non-ethanol or ethanol. It's straight ethanol only, and all the rest of them are ethanol fuel. So I buy that from them. It costs me $3.49 a gallon at current prices. That's what I paid today because I filled my truck up, and that's all I burn in my truck is that non-ethanol fuel. But so it costs a lot more to fill these barrels up. And if somebody was to, come to me and say, hey, I ran out of gas down the road, have you got some gas? I'll sell them some gas, but it's going to cost them $5 a gallon because I'm paying $3.49 right now, and that's the lowest it's been in a couple of years, several years. So I'm paying $3.49 a gallon, and I've got to haul it and do all the work myself? No. And they're not coming back here to my barrels. I'll bring them a 5-gallon can up there, and they're going to pay $5 a gallon for it, or they're not getting it. That's just the way it works. But anywho, finally got that project done to where it's rotatable now. I can start filling these 2 drums back up. My mower is full. I've checked the oil, all that good stuff in there. It's ready. I see I got a tire on my little wagon here. That's about half down. It's hard for y'all to tell on camera, but it's about halfway flat. And those are tube tires, so I know they leak really slow. But I'll pull them around there and fill it up. It's almost full of dirt, by the way, y'all. So that's with a load on it. Anywho, that's one thing done. One more thing off my list. If I'm still cutting when the chickens decide to go back into their pens, I'll close the pens and come in here and mulch these leaves and stuff up. But if they don't go in and it's done got dark on me, then I'll do it the next time. Because it's that time of year I'm not having to cut every 8 to 10 days like I do during the middle of summer. But the chickens are doing well. It rained. I got a ½ inch of rain is all I got. But we got rain just a little bit all day long, which is the way you want to get it. Let's see if there's anything in here. Nope. A few drops. But getting a nice slow rain helps it soak into the ground. So before I get too far along in this video, yesterday, since it was raining and it was muddy out here, I did not go in and gather the eggs, or the day before actually, and did not go in and gather the eggs and all that. I had filled all the feeders completely full the day before, and even the large pen can go 2 days on one filling. So that way I didn't go out there, I just left them. I got them yesterday, ended up getting pretty close to 15, I think it equaled out to, for the 2 days straight, 15 each. So I got right at 30 eggs. That's not bad. Not bad for this time of year. All right, let me show you one more thing. Over here at the raised bed garden, I have moved the watermelons, rolled them a little bit to see if they can't get off the spot they've been sitting on. They're not sitting on the ground, they're sitting on that weed mat. But I picked the one that I told y'all I was going to pick, took it in the house, let it stay in there for 24 hours in the fridge, got it nice and cold, and I cut it that next night and it was about 90% ripe. It was pink all the way out to the edge like it should be, but it wasn't quite dark red. And it wasn't near as sweet as the other melons that I have gotten. Even though it was a little bit more ripe, it was not 100%. So guys, when it's time to pick a watermelon, I have no clue. Going by what Google says, when that curly Q nearest the stem on the melon turns brown, dries up, and you've got a sunspot, that bright yellow on the melon, it's time to pick it. Well, that ain't true, because that last one had that. But I'll just leave it an extra couple weeks after. That one sat there for over a week, and it still wasn't ready. I ate the heart out of it, which it was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. Then I gave the rest to the chickens, and they love it. I came out here looking earlier today before I got on the mower, and if I can find it, I was going to show y'all. There it is. Another watermelon growing right there. Look at that. About the size of a golf ball. And there's another one over there about the size of the golf ball. Right there. I'm not going to let them melons grow, guys. I'm ready to get this garden done and over with. When these other 3 melons are either split open or bugs get them or I pick them, these vines are coming up and I'm going to get this garden closed for the winter. I'm not going to keep waiting on that. But I'm going to give up on growing watermelons. And y'all, the people that know my address, it's ironic. I live on a road called Watermelon. And I can't grow a watermelon out here that I can get ripe to save my life. But either way, it's been a pretty good day. I went to help a friend that's got some projects to do on his little homestead. Him and his wife and son live in a tiny home. And they're really, really good people. And I told my son-in-law what I was wanting to do. And my son-in-law, my daughter, and the grandkids, we all rode over there. Even though he said no, we rode over there to try to help him get this project done. And we ended up agreeing on this next weekend. Not the one coming up, so it'll be 2 weeks from now. The project he's got done is a little bit out of his league. It's got some electrical in it, and it's got some plumbing in it that he needs help doing. And I can handle both of those things. So we're going to go over there in a couple of weeks. We're going to get everything that we need ahead of time and knock that project out for him. But so that took about an hour of today. I wish we had everything we needed. We still wouldn't have got it done, because I thought it was going to be an hour-long job, and it turned out that's probably going to be a half-a-day job, if not a little more. But that's okay. I want to help my friends that I can, and he is a good person. His wife's a great person, and it's hard to find good people. So when you get a chance to help them, and God leads you to help somebody, don't take no for an answer. Get off your butt and go do it. So that's what I tried to do today, and we've agreed to a time and date, so we're gonna get it done. But follow what your heart tells you to do. God's not going to lead you the wrong way. So, guys, I appreciate y'all watching my videos, subscribing to the channel, hitting the thumbs up, all that good stuff. I've got a black sex link in the nesting box over there now. It's late afternoon, but it's early afternoon. I know we're getting close to when time changes, but I've still got probably an hour and a half, 2 hours before dark. So about 2 hours, I'd guess. I'm going to get back on the mower and try to finish cutting all the grass, since I'm already, got gasoline on me and my clothes are dirty and everything else. And try to get the grass done, because this next weekend coming up, after y'all see this video, the very next weekend, we've got range qualifications again for the safety response team at church. And I need to go back there and mulch all the leaves and such in the range. Just makes it a little cleaner for everybody. But I want to get the grass cut, and I have noticed, even though I put a new belt on my mower last year And that turned out to be one heck of a job, having to take that deck off and disconnect the PTO shaft and all that stuff. Get that belt put on and then get it all put back together. It was a pain in the butt. I'm not a mechanic, but it was a pain. I had to get a mechanic friend of mine come over and help me. So I'm going to try to contact him and see if he can get this thing and go ahead and do a full service on it and change that belt, you know, in the next month or so, because as long as it's good, I mean, it still should be good enough to finish the grass, but I'd rather pay him, you know, $100 or $200 to make sure it's all right than me fight with it for 2 or 3 days, which is what happened last time. But guys, I appreciate y'all. Remember what I always tell you: Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe, be prepared.